So, Danmachi episode 9. So, we pretty much come back from like the week break that Danmachi took into this
Mm-hmm.
episode with Belle Cranel,
With Hestia making her move, right? Like
Yeah, finally.
she's like, okay, now Hermes, this is what with Hermes' help, she figure out how to fight back, right?
Yeah,
How to fight back
it it
and
it started with Belle though, like realizing, like, yeah, my memories are real and everything, and then they just needed to wait for like the signal, which was Leon, our good elf girl, saving the day, or like I should say trying to like save
mm-hmm.
save Belle because he was being held captive. They knew.
Yeah.
We find out Horn released her from her cell, and it was just to
Yep.
to cause like carnage, not carnage, but like to like make a mess of things, because she's still
Yep.
like in deep like denial, or like deep sense of betrayal, and she still does not like Belle, but at the same time she loves
No, yeah.
Freya to the point where
And Belle because
yeah.
she shares their feelings, so she's so confused.
Yeah, she just it was like interesting. Like, I guess we'll skip a little bit for ahead in the episode where like Horn confronts Belle, and it's like, why, why can't you see that Freya is so
Yeah.
mesmerized by you?
First, she kind of like confront him of why she even said no to her, right?
Yep.
And this is when he kind of confirmed everything that it is. She is, she is here, and
Yes.
the reason why it wasn't so obvious because that character was shared with her,
Yep.
like he kind of started seeing everything, the whole thing, the whole theater, the whole act, like the whole thing. So yeah,
No, and
he even figured out that Horn was here too, like,
yeah.
and I think that's and I like the way that kind of treats her because of that, right? And she hates that.
Yeah, she hates it.
She hates that. She hates that. Yeah.
I mean, like, to her, Seer was just supposed to be like a little lie, right?
Mhm.
But to Belle, it was like more than that. So like, obviously, he just can't let that go.
Mhm.
And because she's part of Seer, her like just stabbing herself later on, you pretty much Belle's like, yeah, I can't let you die either. And yeah, no, that was like great of him, like, to kind of like come to a realization that Freya and Seer are the same person. But not only that,
Yeah.
but also like when Freya is Seer, that's like when Freya feels like her utmost self.
Herself. Yeah. Yeah. When she feels freed, like she can be however she feels. Yeah. How she feels.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because to her,
What she
like,
truly feels. Not what people expect.
exactly. And
Yeah.
that's so such an interesting way to like look at it. And considering the fact that she just like like just charmed everybody into like making you
Mhm.
believe that you were not part of the family that you actually are part of,
Mhm.
and getting you
Yeah.
constantly like that's so rough to like come to realization that one of the persons you care about just put you through like living hell, and almost got you
Yeah.
killed
Because
with.
girl, you kind of rejected a god. So.
Yeah, yeah, he did, but like,
I mean, he kind of realized that the extent of his actions,
yeah.
like you don't reject the god, like
Yeah, but
then
yeah, more a little more prior to this, right? We have Leon going around the mansion, and pretty much everybody's
yeah,
trying
to
to
catch her again.
catch
Yeah.
her and keep her away from Belle. And Belle kind of realizes that himself. Is like, are they really like trying to like capture this person, or are they trying to like keep keep me from seeing them.
Keep me from seeing them. Yep. Yeah, I know. I like that Bell is a little bit more awake this season. He's really figuring things out all on his own.
Yeah,
No,
I mean,
not much of like people have to tell him, explain him the obvious anymore.
well,
He's
no, I
like,
mean, this he pretty much was on his own this entire season. If we think about it, like even like the
eh, except when um the dude told her to let the girl confess to her
yeah,
and to give her an answer. Like, come on,
yeah,
obviously you can run away from that.
no, yeah, def. I mean, yeah, aside from Wolf,
Hmm.
telling him that, but I mean, like this whole like Freya stuff was like, yeah,
Like that
he,
was his usual self before, like
yeah,
that's how he used to be about everything in a way, oblivious. But now he's a little more awake. Good for him.
yeah, and like Freya does care about Horn, so like she does allow
Yeah, save her
allow
and let
for
her
her to be
leave.
safe.
Yeah.
And then yeah, of course we were talking about Hestia making her big move, and all the firewood that they were the hermit and his disciples or like his family were like handing off to houses were just
Hmm.
filled with like Hestia's blood, I believe, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that was like
Hmm.
enough for her to make like a mini domain or something where like she can
Hmm.
undo the charm. So like now everybody knows the truth.
Yeah. She went to the tallest altar and activated that spell. It was so good. She looked so bomb. So powerful like a god for real.
Yeah, and it was
This
crazy.
is where
Like,
the OP, like this is in this uh, little image is in the OP.
yep,
The,
yes. Finally, we get to see the image from the OP. But
mhm.
no, I this was like such a good Hestia moment. Like so
Mhm.
beautifully animated. Like the music was like on point. Like everything,
Mhm.
just like the build up to this was just so good, so
Yep.
well executed.
Yep.
And with everything that happened, obviously, like everybody's gonna turn on Freya. They're gonna be wanting
Mhm.
answers. They're gonna try to invade, try to see what's happening. So she pretty much has no choice but to kind of like declare war on uh
Yeah.
on Hestia.
Yeah.
And that's how episode 9 ends off. And on
War games. Yeah.
yeah, the war games on episode 10. Yeah, continues off like where the conversation left off with them talking about this war game that's about to happen, and Hestia was like, I don't have to like really listen or like
So,
go by it. And then Freya was like, yeah, well, I'm not gonna stop till I get bail. So like, and pretty much she lets her know like, yeah, I'm way too powerful. My family's too well in the it's an important part of Orion, for like the 3 quests that they have to overcome or something like that, right? So like, her family's the pillar, so like her living of Bell alone was not gonna suffice. She would have to like leave Orion for her to like let Bell be with Hestia. So pretty much this game was like forced on them. And of course with like everybody hating the Freya family, everybody's trying to get a piece of them. And they pretty much denied uh the Hermit family and the Loki family from like actually fighting in the
yeah.
in the war thing
That
in
he
the war
just
games.
fails. Yeah.
Yeah, because they were too skilled. So the Loki family kind of went like a little bit like, okay, well, we can't actually compete, but we can make sure they're well prepared.
Mhm.
So like all their best people like go to help Bell's
Yeah,
family.
but something they did something to aid. I still, I asked the girl, the blondie girl, though. They had her go because that would have been like so legit for them to have been able to train together, Belle and and what's her name?
Ice, yeah,
Ice,
Ice,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, something about that.
But it
Yeah.
was nice because Belle was like,
And I
yeah,
like that Freya confesses that it was out of jealousy, right?
yeah,
Like she's like, no. They're all like trying to justify it for her. Like, oh, it's so you win, and so you win this. And just like, yeah, it's so I win this, but it's also because I'm jealous of them when they're together. Like,
yeah.
oh,
And also, and I
damn.
do like that Belle kind of told her like, if we win, you have to let me meet the real you.
I know the real you, which is Seer, right?
Yeah,
That's what she hates to admit.
yeah, yeah. She hates to admit it, but like Belle just, oh, it's just seeing right through her. But
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, obviously they want the war game to be semi fair. So like, Loki's family's not allowed to compete, which means Ice is not allowed to be with Belle and compete with
Mm-hmm.
them. And pretty much Belle does be like, yeah, I would have liked to like train with her, but like every training session that he's had with her is like it's just ingrained in me. So it's like I kind of it it's nice that he has like multiple uh fighting styles now, right? Or like multiple opponents that
Yeah.
he trained with. So like he's learned something from these other people that he trained with, which
Right. Right.
just like he did with Ice. And obviously, I think the one that gets the biggest buff, in my opinion, is Lily, because she gets
Oh
he
yeah, she gets trained by one of the heroes.
the main
So
strategist of the Loki family, like the one
yeah.
that's faced off against Freya's family for like a long time. He's basically given her all the tips and all the ways they maneuver and stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
so all her strategies are gonna be bumped up for this fight or this war, I should say.
Yep.
And in name of fairness, it's not a head-to-head contest. It's a game of hide and seek,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
which
Which makes it interesting, in my opinion,
yeah, it makes it interesting because
about finding their children finding their own god, I believe.
yes,
But the gods are like off limits. They cannot be heard, or or
yeah,
yeah, they cannot be heard. But between the children, it's okay. So
yeah, and the way that it gets complicated is that they don't prevent people from like getting in the way of them finding them.
hmm
So like
hmm
it can go like all out war or just like 1v1s, 1v20s,
hmm
Yeah. But yeah, I do like that aspect of that, and also the whole family just kind of like apologizing to Belle, after everything that happened. They're like, "Oh, we were so mean to you," and
yeah.
stuff. And he was just like, like water under the bridge instead of like
Just help
apologizing.
me fight this.
Yeah, just help me.
Like,
Yeah,
just help me win this fight. No, let's forgive it. Like,
yeah. I mean, they are getting new weapons by Wolf, so like
hmm
that should be quite the help also. And
so
he
good.
he also got he finally got his actual level up, from Hestia.
Yeah, it was good to see his stats through Hesiod's, like, yeah. So appraisal through Hesiod's appraisal. So
Yeah, I definitely really enjoyed that one, that part of it, because obviously the whole thing with Freya, it was kind of like to fake the level up,
hmm
but now it's the
hmm
actual level up. So now
and
all
then and then Hestia had, like, you know, not giving it to him, like she was like trying to, like, avoid it.
yeah, just
So
she was trying
she was
to
like, no,
yeah trying
too
to
many too soon, and like her children growing up too soon.
yep,
Yeah.
which Belle's not the only one that's like growing really a lot. Also, I think everybody else is kind of growing quite rapidly with them.
I agree.
So
I agree.
we'll have to see
I
how.
agree that Lily has really grown because they really they really gave us them when they really were starting off, like
Yeah,
they were really, yeah,
it was
like
rough how
they
they
didn't know how
started.
to do shit. Yeah, like it was, yeah, exactly, like level 000 without any talents, like some have even, like sometimes in shows they at least have talent,
Yep,
but like for them it's more like develop skills,
yep,
they all develop the skills through passion. I feel like so it's a good show.
yeah, and
So,
we later before the episode ends we find that Hornis is finally like alive, but she's not awoken.
oh yeah,
So there's something going on there. Uh, and pretty much we see like everybody that's gonna fight with Bill. Like
hmm
he has a whole ass army, and like Freya just has well her family's quite big too, but like
hmm
their thing is that there's just like quality
she
growth.
has a huge following for sure.
Yeah, but it's not just like huge because of everybody that follows her, but they're all like quality people too. Like they're
hmm
no they're no slobs. So I,
No, because they're picky. They only want the people that they can use in a way. So
yeah, and I mean they pretty much go and fight every day to the death. So like, if that's like their actual like training routine and not just something they made up, that's pretty like brutal.
yeah, exactly. It's like you're going to, yeah, exactly, into a battle every day as training to the death. Like that's crazy.
Yeah, and right before like everything ends off, we do get Cassandra with like another one of her dreams or like her future side things, and
hmm
it's like pretty much saying that the key to victory is gonna lie on Leon. So that's gonna
Yep, on
be
the elf girl, and we see her trying to look for Seer, right? Like she's on the top, like
yep,
and saying like, "Oh, I knew you were here. Like I knew you were here. Or like what's happening to you?" Like she's just like trying to figure her out, like just like trying to really find her and
yes,
see what's been happening with her. Like what's up?
exactly.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
and that's I mean that's the episode, but I'm excited to finally get these word games going. We're gonna have 6 more episodes of Danmachi. They're going by so fast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But that'll be it for this one. On to the next one. Magic Megilumiere Magical Girl Sing, episode
Thank
10. So turns out rooms are not just rooms in here, right? We have to. These are very high maintenance technology that now the girls have to like really get into working condition, and they who better than the genius Gingy.
Oh yeah, that was great. Getting to see that they getting their brooms mints and it's this genius. It's a little girl.
Yeah, it was funny because I think when they arrived there, like kind of was thinking, okay, it's gonna be some like genius guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
they meet like this one guy that's technically he is kind of like smart, and
Mm-hmm.
in any other time he would have been like considered a genius. So kind of thought kind of
Right.
like that he was gonna be the guy, but
Yeah, that was hilarious. And then it wasn't even him. They're like, okay, so where's Gingy? Is she here?
yeah, and this
Yeah.
is the little girl
But they
that's
did tell her, like, I was like, but they did say it was like a little girl, like a young person. I mean,
yeah,
you know. And I think they were saying that it was a girl too. So kind of like You're too smart to get that wrong.
Yeah,
Like,
I think. I mean, she's really smart because she's able to like talk to Hitomi, and like understand her
mhm.
like push, bash, bah language, you know?
Yeah, and even the engineering, as we saw in this episode too,
Yeah, and like,
even the
look,
engineer seems
yeah,
to
yeah,
really put it in more of a technical terms for
yeah,
her.
yeah, and no, I also like the interest like she took in Kana right away because she was like, oh, you know, like, you're using a lot of your memory, right, for the room,
Mhm.
and it was like, oh well, yeah, you know, like I remember she realized that she was pretty much using the broom to like her full capacity,
All the yeah, exactly. Like all the
and
features.
yeah, and she's like, okay, well, now I'm inspired to make you guys like your own brooms, like two completely
Mhm.
different people with like different ways of like doing things.
Mhm.
And even the guy was like, no, you know, like you promised me you were gonna shower today.
I know, right? That was hilarious. And then she fucking tells him, but like, what kind of assistant she's paid him to be, or like he is to her.
you, yeah, but
Not his babysitter, but his assistant.
yeah, pretty much. And you know, like after that, they pretty much go back to the office like good workers, and they pretty much get bombarded. They see like it's kind of busy in this because somebody like recorded the video of them like taking care of the mutation in the exposition.
Mhm.
So now
Mhm.
like everybody's
No,
like,
the sales rep did
yeah, the sales rep did,
himself. Yeah, the sales person.
and pretty
Yeah,
much
he
that
did.
that gave them like a boost in popularity, and now they're like busier than ever.
Mhm.
So like the president, you
And then
know,
they're going public with their system, right? They said they were going to
well, first,
um,
yeah, pretty much they're gonna go
basically
public.
commercialize it. Like, yeah,
They're gonna
make
pretty
their system, yeah, commercial, available for everyone
yes,
to use. So that was really cool. I thought that was like super dope.
yeah, they're gonna do
That
that, and also
since
do more collaborations with like other magical girl businesses as well. And that's also to like kind of like
hmm
spread the program and the awareness of it.
yeah.
And it was like not even like that long ago that the other engineers that were like working with Nico during that time, they were like, oh man, this is like so easy to use, right?
hmm
So like them selling it is like gonna be huge for them.
Right.
I do think it's kind of like a it's good in a profitable sense, but also it can be like really bad for them because if everybody
hmm
uses this program now, then there's gonna be like nothing really to differentiate them from the rest of
hmm
them.
Right.
Because I mean,
But I don't know. Like I feel like the girl said in the next episode, um, or like how the show I feel like kind of points out, that society's kind of used to working alone, like individually. This company works like literally they're all working together like at that moment.
yeah,
Like I feel like she said that usually the spells are uploaded to the wand and then they go with that. Like there's no real even communication with the engineer life.
yeah,
So I think regardless of it, people are not going to be able to use it because again, like they kind of point out in the next episode, um the girl kind of like thought that she got the hang of things, but she didn't, and kind of like trusted that or believed that too. And it
yeah,
was a
but
bad call, to kind of consider her already ready of how to work in teams
yeah,
in
but
this team because it's really a specific strategic way of working together. So
yeah, but anyway, like aside from that, like uh, I like
I
that
think
they,
people
I like
won't be
the
able to use it or see their use its potential as
Y-
they do, and
Yeah.
that would still make them, have the edge and the originality and the yeah
Well,
and the,
well, there is that, but also like if we consider like the main like magical girl business, getting a hold of that and being able to like actually like use it, like it could like hinder them. That's what I was getting at. Like if like a better company like can make use of
I
it.
don't know either because you saw how he's talk like he's telling him to do that, and the guy is like no, like 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 he's like, oh, come, let's work on this thing so it can solve what happened that thing, and he's like no, like
Yeah. Well,
what, like
well,
I don't know, he just seems like um it has to really come in a button function for him to for him to even use his potential either. Like he is not gonna get involved either. Like it's
yeah.
like
Okay.
I don't know. I don't
Well,
know. I feel like the dude is trying to get him involved and even get him to be the creator of it, like get him to put input into how to even make this system work better. And the dude is really not like interested in getting involved in all that. So I mean,
the way I see that, right? I don't want to get too much into that, but like,
so I kind of want to see how is it really going to be, because I don't really, it's not
well,
really clear to me.
yeah, but
Like
yeah. Anyways, like this
it's
program
not
they're
really.
selling could be huge if like done correctly, right? And give them a huge boost, and also like make them lots of money. But what it
Yes.
what really
I'm sorry.
what really happened in this episode is we got the new brooms, and they're pretty much identical to like the previous brooms, just like with with slight tweaks here and there for like kind of getting like a bunch of like new features added to hers. And he told me just gets like, I guess, better mobility on hers.
But that was so cool. I mean, it was definitely so like um I don't know, don't even know what word to use, but like um she goes and says, and the president tells her, okay, you got your new broom, you have this job at 3, and she takes that as like, I need to read all this fucking man.
Yeah, she goes
she just
mental.
she just goes straight for that. I'm just like, girl, like how did you figure that?
Yep. And
Like,
she,
damn, this girl
she
is not, and she does, obviously. Like, and I love that the genius, right? The inventor, scientist, like, calls her that she's like an inventor's dream, like,
yeah, the one that will like use their inventions to the fullest capacity.
ooh, and read the manual because
Yeah, nobody reads the manual.
nobody bothers to read the fucking manual. I fucking love it.
I mean, that was made clear on
I,
like,
I I just love that this is the type of um what's it called, humor they bring, like,
like a
oh my
gag.
god, and what about, yeah, and what about, I mean, I guess we'll keep jumping back and forth between the episodes because it's really like a hard difference, but like I love how the girl that comes to kind of start, working on the prototype or whatever, um asks him about the dress,
Yeah,
like right away, like, okay, so what is that about?
yeah, of
Like,
course.
explain to me, what are you doing that for? Like,
Yeah. Uh, yeah.
that was hilarious.
This company breaks all the norms, and with how they're breaking the norms, they really ought to like uh get more people involved, right? Like they said, they want to do more
No,
collaborations, and pretty much the president tells kind of okay. I want you to become a
Oh
teacher.
yeah, and yeah, exactly. Yeah, good thing. Yeah, he's like, okay, you gotta go to your next step, become the teacher.
Yep.
Wow, she really
And then we get into
owns
episode
up to that,
11.
right?
Yep. Because now
She really owns up to that.
we can get into like
I
episode
love that.
11, and that's when we get the new
Yeah,
girl that comes in, Makino.
yeah, she's cute. I like her little orange fiery hair looking. I like it a lot.
Yeah,
That
her design is
that
cool,
color.
but like her transformation was like a bit over the top for me. I'll just skip a little ahead.
I agree with you, and 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 the style. I want to say too the clothes,
Yeah,
the design of the clothes too was a little bit too. I don't know,
yeah,
not for me. Let's
yeah.
just put it that way.
This one was like a whole ass like movie scene. Like there's like wardrobes
Mm,
flying everywhere, like getting her clothes ready. There's like
yes,
makeup everywhere, like getting her
yes,
all ready. And I'm like, okay, when are you get? Let's like let's wrap it up. And then like Kana and Hitomi just show up, and it's like 15 seconds. Ooh, they're ready. Like this girl to like an
yeah,
extra like 30.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That was funny.
but
But they go to the site, right? And they
I
kind of
mean,
teaching her, guiding her
I
through it.
I kind of
Huh?
want to like talk about like what you were talking about earlier with the president, because like we didn't. I didn't want
Oh,
to.
that's the hair, the dress.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
because
she's just
she found it
yeah, hold on
odd,
quick.
and she was trying to ask him about it, and he was like, well, like this. Him like wearing that dress. He's like, this is like, or like the magical girl outfit is like, this is like my resolution kind of like thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it represents like what his ideals are and all that. So like he didn't want to get into that. So like the salesperson kind of like tells her like like, oh, you got this and that, right? Kind of like to like throw him off
Yeah,
the
I
from
like
asking
it.
him.
Yeah, I like that it was obvious that the sales rep kind of cut it. Like, can I just like, we don't need to talk about this right now.
Yeah, he's
Like,
good.
this
Like when
is
he
not like this is not an interview about this.
yeah. So
It's
like that, and that's
about
what that's what I kind of found kind of like interesting because this kind of is like a very studious person, and this person like just like has a lot of time to like just write notes for herself as well. So it's
mm-hmm,
kind of like perfect, like kind of the teacher. She's the student that writes notes.
mm-hmm.
Love that.
Yeah, yeah, it was good for Kana, especially. I would have hate for her to get any other type of student, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly. And we found out what the name of the system is. Like they're naming it Alice.
Alice,
Yeah.
just like fucking Sal.
Yep.
That's so funny.
Yeah. Exactly. It's really really interesting, and like the girl does ask like if they're planning to sell like other stuff too, but they're like nah. And one of the things that really stood out to me after all this, right, is how Makino sticks to like her choices
Mm-hmm.
and that's represented with like how she grabbed like the really bad smoothie, and she was like, well, this is the choice I made. you know
Yeah, that was silly.
yeah, it was a nice little silly moment I liked. And yeah, we get into the Kai stuff now, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they go to the site
Yeah,
and
so
figure and start guiding her about how like the whole thing goes, the whole runabout, the divide the work. She goes with Kana since Kana's the teacher there, and they get the whole lights taken care of because that's where the Kai is supposedly because they thought it was an electric Kai.
yep,
So that kind of matters because
it's
like
that.
he's kind of seeing figuring it out. And especially, I feel like this is a really good point to how society has built the system of magical girls and the groundbreaking way that they're doing it differently.
Yep.
Again, I feel like this was again pointed out because if they would have um, categorized this job as electric Kai like they did at the beginning, they would have probably just uploaded, spells against electric Kais to their wands and send them to the job,
Yep.
And then these girls, since they have like close communication with the engineer, they were able to like completely switch it to like blaze Kai, which is like the fire type. So
Yep.
I thought that was really, really legit too. That they were able to portray it, and in a way of the girl getting in danger or getting in.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
how Hitomi was the one that like
Yes,
really,
figure it
really,
out.
really figured it out, and also kind of the one that
Yes,
like pushed.
she really does have like a natural.
Yeah,
Yeah,
instinct for this. She was like
yeah,
a
exactly.
natural born like magical girl. Like there's no question about it. I was just like gonna talk about how like Hitomi kind of like told kind of to like keep an eye on her, like just
Uh
to
huh.
remember like she can't handle what you can handle, so you just make sure you don't leave her
I
sight.
know. I love how because me at the moment too. It made it seem like, oh, watch out for her, like don't trust her in a way, like. But it was like, don't trust her to think that she can do it on her own, like,
Yeah,
you know, like
yeah, it was.
not like not like, oh, she's going to do something to you or something, like, no, it's more like she's gonna hurt herself. So keep an eye on her. So,
Yeah,
um,
and of
no, it's good.
course,
I really enjoy this show.
and of
Uh huh.
course the we didn't really talk about it, but the guy does mutate, which has kind of been like the ongoing theme so far, where like now we're getting into like mutations.
Oh yes, right, right, right. And wow, this was a strong mutation, right?
Yeah, even
Like
Hitomi
it
was
seemed
like
like,
kind of worried about it. She was like, if this mutates, it could be disastrous for us all. So like just the fact that Hitomi alone once is like warning that this could be like really bad for everybody. It's just shows the kind of like level of danger this guy's possessed. And of course, this just is gonna prove more as to why the current system that they have with the president and stuff is gonna be so valuable for facing off against mutations, because now they can like once again have flexibility in the spells that they can use at any time. And yeah, that's all I have on this one.
mm-hmm, same.
You? That's it?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, well, on to the next one. Dandadan Episode 9. This one starts off with Ira turning into acrobatic Silky. You know, kind of like really nice to have this passing of the torch from the dying mother to Ira.
Mm-hmm.
And, and of course, like, Akurun's like pretty much naked, so, Ira's like, oh, well, now you kind of have to marry me. Because she sees him naked. And the aliens are kind of like being obnoxious, and they're like, oh, well, now we have more people to experiment on. So they're trying to take her banana organs as well. And Ira like tries to go at them, but like obviously can't really like break the barriers, because she has quite the skills for moving, but like when it comes to like raw power, I think her transformation kind of lacks a bit. And that gives like an advantage for like the shrimp to come in to try to help his employees, which we found out in this episode that they pretty much hired him to take care of the kids first, and to make sure like nobody interfered with them, like processing Okarun's banana organ.
Yeah. Yeah, so it was just
It was a silly episode.
interesting. Yeah. So that's yeah. Um
I mean, we got to see what acrobatics or like what Ira and Okarun would fight off together. Like how they were kind of doing the
mhm,
ballet dancing, and
mhm.
Okarun was being like the speed and the power that she kind of like needed in a way to like deal more damage to the shrimp who got transformed by the serpients or the serpos, because he was not doing his job properly. So they were like, okay, well, we're just gonna give you a boost. And Momo was the one that came to save the day at the end of, because her powers are able to like reflect the aliens' psychic abilities. So that were like holding down Okarun and Ira from transforming. And it's uh
Yeah.
it's so funny when Ira was calling Okarun by his name all of a sudden, or like saying something that made Momo kind of like waver a bit, or like think about them being as a couple, and they would just like fall flat on their face from the psychic pressures. Really, really interesting stuff. And we have Nessie finally come back, right?
Mhm.
And of course, Momo was like, okay, well, you guys can stay here. I'm gonna bounce. Leaves them behind, and Ira gets sent into into the sea, up in the classroom, because this monster can like place water anywhere and everywhere. So they were she was kind of held underwater, but like in the ceiling. There was like no real way to really save her with Momo's power. She needed to get closer to her, and of course she's still like feeling kind of betrayed a bit by Okurun. So like they get into like this kind of like mini fight where she was like, well, you lied to me, and Okurun was kind of like, well, like if something's bothering you, just let me know. He's like, if like anybody else can have like their own opinions of me and anything, and I won't mind it, but like he's like, I can't have you being the person that doesn't understand where I'm coming from, or like the one person that would like hate him, or like without knowing the reason, right? It was a nice little moment with Okarun and Momo there. And then of course Momo like comes clutch once again, using her psychic powers to propel Okarun. Like she was holding on to him while propelling them. Really interesting way to like ride a kid in the water. And that's how like they went to save Ira. They got her free. Like the Nessie monster killed one of the aliens, and then the aliens decided, well, since you're useless and since the shrimp is useless, I'm gonna merge all three of us together so that we can be that you guys can be of use to us. So now they have the high pressure long range attack from the Nessie monster, and then the close range attack from the shrimp mantis alien.
And those aliens. We're really learning about these aliens, and I kind of like that. And they even made a friend.
What was that?
Really, 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 really love that about Dandadan. Um, but going back to them having that uncomfortable talk, I really like that they do have their moments like this.
Yep.
You know, it really shows the development in the relationship. I
Yep.
think there's um I think you can even see it in their expressions, that when they see themselves, like when they find themselves, as you said, having these conversations, they cannot realize what's happening, you know.
Mm, yeah, I
You
think
know,
I
like
think
like developing, you know.
yeah,
So
the show is
it's
very
really
very smart about it. Like they
mhm,
portray that these are conversations by like actual people. You know, like these are uncomfortable conversations that they want to have, and the show's just putting it out there. Like, yeah, you know, like
mhm,
it might be awkward, but like you know, at the end of the day, this is what it's gonna end up needing to happen
mhm,
at some point,
yeah,
and
yeah,
it just so sort of happens to be when you're being attacked by the Loch Ness monster in this case.
yeah.
Um,
And then they're begging the grandma for more uniforms. I love that. I love
I
that Momo just adds them to ask her grandma for the new uniforms. I'm like, Momo, this is why your grandma fucking gives you shit. Like, you just use your grandma as a shield, as a wallet,
well,
as
before
a
we get to that one, I guess we'll just
uh,
let's just wrap up like the episode 9 really quick with you know, pretty much
what is
they beat the Loch Ness monster obviously, and they had to like get rid of their clothes so that they don't because the clothes are gonna weigh them down in water, so like they had to be on their underwear, and of course Okarun is kind of like naked because of the aliens, but they put their powers together. Momo does the big lifting by making the alien destroy his own arms, and then Okarun does his full throttle after Ira like grabs it with her hair because her power is like just hair and dancing like a ballerina. And yeah, episode 9 ends in like the funniest way with them being caught butt naked in the hallway by everybody, and then they have to like run away in a like the most hilarious way. I think the animators did a good job of taking that scene and making it into like one of the funniest things I've seen like all year round. But yeah, those episode 9, episode 10. Uh, you know they're at the nurse. How do you feel about the nurse?
the nurse? Well, she was just weird. I mean, she was just not really what you would expect from a teacher.
I mean, no,
I don't know. She's suspicious.
yeah, very,
Suspicious, I guess.
yeah, kind of, but but yeah, I think this is like where we get into a little like theory crafting moment. Well, they're there, right, where Okarun is wondering why the aliens haven't invaded and why they're after his junk. So he pretty much summarizes in the most easiest way possible that the reason why aliens are not invading Earth is because the yokai are like keeping them at bay.
Hmm.
Which
Well, that's Euchre's theory, though.
yeah, that's what he
That's just his
theorizes.
theory. Yeah, he's just throwing things out
Yeah, it's his theory, but I mean it makes sense because why else would they be after his they feel like because of his powers they if they experiment on him they're able to overcome them or make them their own. So it would make sense in that way why they're constantly you know like kidnapping humans with supernatural abilities. And of course like the real question is what's going to happen to them and their reputation I was just like, well, I'm just gonna blame it all on Momo. She made me do it. And Momo was just like, well, yeah, you go for that. I don't even care anymore. And even Momo tells like Okurun, like, yeah, you can do the same. Like, I do not care. And Okurun, obviously being the knight in shining armor, is like, yeah, no matter what, I'm not gonna bath mouth you, you know. And they have their like little moment, you know, like after like she explains everything, or like he explains everything to her. It's like, yeah, I've been working out. And it's like, why? Well, why didn't you just tell me? He's like, well, I just wanted to look cool for you. And she was like, well, she had like a little smirk. It's like, yep, of course, I didn't know you were like that, right? And it's like, well, yeah, even a guy like me has to be like that sometimes, you know. And the Momo's friends like come in, and they kind of interrogate him for a bit, like trying to figure out what happened. And they thought that Momo and Ira were like fighting for Okurun's heart, like gladiators or something.
Gladiator. Yeah, that was funny. The gladiators looking thing. I was like, oh, it just happens that we're fucking getting the Gladiator 2 movie came out.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, that's not as ludicrous as like saying you got kidnapped by aliens. You know, like it's pretty much like around the same ballpark. That's like the weirdest thing that could have happened. But yeah, we have well, we have a very big Ira moment that happens afterwards, right? Because now she finally comes clean about everything, about how she was the one spreading rumors about Momo, and that everyone.
Oh yeah, that was so legit. That was a very nice moment. I feel like because she really goes there with the intention of blaming it all on Momo,
Yep.
and then when push comes to shove, she really didn't have the guts to do it,
Well,
or the
no.
conscious, I should say, the conscious to do it.
Yeah, she had the conscience
And
not to do it. Yeah.
yeah, so that was really cool. And then she leaves and then goes outside, and who does she find, or who finds her? Momo.
Momo. And it's like, well, looks like you didn't do it. And she's like, no, I totally
I know,
did.
Momo's such a fucking bitch.
Yep. But I like that. They have this little moment where it's kind of like, Momo realizes, you know, Ira's not so bad, you know?
Yeah, I think so too.
And then they get interrupted by the shrimp mantis guy again. And this is where you get his first insight on his backstory and why he did what he did. What are your thoughts on his backstory with his little boy Chiquita?
Yeah, and how he was just doing this for money. It was just a job
Yep.
to him. So
I mean, it's kind of crazy though that the kid how do you say, like loses like a gallon of blood a day or something like that,
yeah,
or,
something.
or he loses like blood every time he pees, some shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
So he's always needing like blood transfusions. And Seiko's like, you know, you smell kind of funny. Because she smelled like bad milk on his bandages. And it's like, well, this smells like your blood. And it turns out that alien blood is you know,
Milk.
milk.
It's fucking cow milk. How crazy is that?
Yeah, it's funny. And of course, then
And that's when the epic scene comes of a cow getting taken by a fucking.
yep. And now they acquired a new friend to help them whenever they need to later down the road.
Mm-hmm.
And now we get to the funny scene with Momo saying we gotta, what was it, exploit the financial powers of adults.
Yeah,
And the
and
grandma,
get new uniforms
yeah, and the grandma's
and
like,
growl for new uniforms.
yeah, I like how the grandma was like, I don't like how you have eyes of like exploiting the financial power of adults.
Just like she fucking hurt her. I think she did.
Yeah, she
Like,
heard
Momo,
it.
you're nuts. Like, yeah.
Yeah, but at least Okurin gets a free uniform, and so does Ira.
Well, it was Momo's fault, not Miss Skinny. It wasn't even Momo's fault.
Yeah,
But
kinda, but we finally get our first look at the new boy, or like I should say like old boy
yes,
Gigi.
at the final character, at the final, yeah, character in this series.
Yeah,
I'm really, really.
so Gigi comes in like the worst time with Momo trying to do an impression to get as many uniforms for his grandma, and Seiko
Yeah.
tells Okurin like, yeah, so that's Momo's childhood friend, and also her first crush. I'm
I
just
think she was bullshitting there. That grandma
she wasn't. That was
just
the
stirring the pot there.
she
I
was
don't know.
she
Momo's memories didn't seem like she was all that into him.
well, that's because she's so
She
into
seemed to
Okuran
had
now.
always been annoyed by him.
No.
So.
It is pretty much. You remember in the first episode how there was that boy
Mm-hmm.
that made fun of her that she really liked? That's him.
Ah, that traumatizing moment that she recalls.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah, it
him.
was him.
That, yeah, you know what? I kind of figure because, or at least I didn't think it was like that, but in a way, because he was kind of apologizing to her about that, saying like,
Yeah.
oh, now I'm coming here because I need of your grandma's powers and I made you fun about, you know,
Yeah.
you saying that
So
they exist. So,
yeah.
and now
So,
I'm here like knocking at your door asking for help about them. Like,
yeah.
so.
So
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, that is pretty shitty.
yeah, but that was episode 10. Episode 11 now with the actual full introduction of Gigi. Um yeah, so Ira still, thinks Momo's building up an army. How do you feel about that? Because this is
Stupid. I was so stupid.
she is
But I mean, they're friends. I mean, they're friends.
they're kind of like rivalries, or she's
Yeah. Yeah.
Ira feels like Momo's like a rival to her love for Momo,
Yeah.
and
True.
to like nobody's surprise, of course Gigi like moves in, and it seems like Okurun is taking it kind of like hard. Obviously, you have to find out that's the girl you like's crush, right? Who is like tall, athletic,
I know,
fun,
right? He
fun.
really goes in on the comparison. I'm like, goddamn, oh girl.
Yeah, and as he's leaving, I like how Momo's like, "Hey, I said see you tomorrow. Last time, now it's your turn."
I know, right? They take turns.
And he's like, "Oh,
She's so prideful.
she's
She's like,
prideful, but
how
like,
pride? Yeah.
she." I think that's like her way of like pushing Okurin like she was kind of hoping like Okurin would like reciprocate it. So like I understand that.
Yeah, to open up a little bit.
Yeah, open up a little bit, and you know I just feel so bad for Okurin obviously now that Gigi's here for at least for the first half of the episode. I felt bad for him, but Gigi's there and he's just sweet talking to Seiko and it's like, ooh, you're such a genius, and then she just like, keeps feeding him or like giving him whatever he needs because he's calling her like a cute aunt instead of like a cute grandma or like you know kind of making her seem like a hotter person or like a better person. And we find out why Gigi's there, which is he is now able to see ghosts, and his family got hospitalized because somebody that was living in his new home started off like injuring people or like making them commit suicide. And of course, like dad pretty much like Momo tried to play it off as like, all right, grandma, you got this. And the grandma's like, no, I don't actually. Because remember, I have no power outside my. Yeah, and Seiko like makes it so that Momo goes because she has no power in any place but where her shrine is. So now it's like Momo's like, okay, well, why should I do it though? Like it sounds dangerous. Like I'll buy you any uniforms you want, just for accepting it, not even for like getting the job done, just to accept it. Which is like, all right, well, fair, like I got this. And Gigi joins the classroom, and it happens to be Momo's classroom, and he is. How do you
Yeah.
feel?
Oh, and I mean, he's gonna live with her now. Like he's there to live with her.
Yeah, I
I'm just like letting her know as it's happening. Like no big deal.
yep, and yeah, like I like how he tried to play it off as like oh yeah, we're like living together now. Don't worry, it's like parentally approved or something like that. Or and Momo's like, well, don't say it like that stuff. You'll get the wrong impression. And Momo's friends are like, yeah, she already has Okarun. Like I love how like Gigi doesn't even know Okarun by name, right? He just by he knew him by like how he looks, but not by name.
Yeah.
And we see like more so now that Okarun is really jealous of Gigi. Like it's more.
He saw him and he said, "Look at this eclectic hot guy."
Yep. And and like he's doing doodles of like them going on dates instead of like him, and he's like wondering like, oh, what if like she loses interest in like the occult stuff. And pretty much that leads them to like go and work out during their lunch session.
It's kind of sad, the whole imagination that he had though of her like stop hanging out with him and hang out with her more and like slowly like becoming a couple, getting heartbreak for him.
Yeah. I mean,
Bro, let things happen before you fucking get hurt about it.
yep, exactly. But yeah, definitely. Obviously, it's like causing him a lot of stress. So like the best way to like get rid of stress is to like just work out. So he does that, and Momo like sees him and is like, well, if your hands are busy, like I could just feed you. And he was so ready to like just have this moment with Momo, and then here comes Gigi. Like it's like, okay, well, I got you like this. I think like basically he bought her off with the yogurt, like her favorite yogurt brand or whatnot. And that was like enough for like Okorn to like want to like leave the space right there, kind of like give them their own. And it's like, okay, well, here comes this random, what was it, like the body, or like this random like mannequin looking thing.
Oh study in a way.
Yeah.
This like the science class, like health body, it's like running through the city. And
Yep.
I like how they suspect right away, like you must have your balls for him to be to run like be a life like this. Go after him.
Yeah. And
Yeah, like this story.
what was that?
Older generation mannequin.
Um, yeah, and the love
And
story.
then the mannequin runs through that, and they'll see it. And I like how they suspect that it's because he has the balls.
Yeah, he has
So
the golden ball, you could say.
yes, for him to be able to move like that, they like figure, okay, that he has to possess them to be able to move like this.
Yeah.
And they follow him, and they hard.
Yeah, they follow him. Go. Yeah, and the transformation was
They
really
were
cool.
they were having a hard time chasing after him. And I thought he had gotten lost, to be honest, but seems like Mom always finds a way with her like smarts to figure out where he was. I don't remember how she found him, but it was like I can hear him or something like that.
So when they were chasing him down, right?
Mhm.
There was a point where they like actually stopped them, and he ended up like disassembling all his body parts.
Oh yeah.
And
Because Momo had
yeah. And then Momo, before he like reattached all of his body parts together, Momo grabbed his heart and
that's right.
just pounding at his heart to so he would yell. Yeah, I mean, she is kind of like really smart,
Yeah.
very calculated and
like very wits, like
hmm
at the moment, right? Like
yeah, the beat is like on the fly, very
yeah.
improv type of way, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But no, yeah,
Right.
that love story with the mannequins was kind of like
Oh, that was cute. Not gonna lie.
yeah,
Especially because it was like such a basic or just general, like, oh, we're different models.
yeah.
It's like, but
No, I mean,
yeah,
it
it was
was
a nice
like
drama, add,
yeah,
add to the drama, just add to the drama.
yeah, it really was, and I think it was like really cool how it was like the mannequins were kind of like a stand-in for like Momo and Okaruna as well, right? Because Okaruna was like listening to Taro
To the
talk.
confessions,
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, they had more guts than they could ever
and I
to
man, I just want to say
admit
like
their love.
yeah, I just want to say that m- what's it Okarun? He has one ball right now, so like he's kind of missing one. Maybe he
Oh
needs
my
a
god, I saw a meme
yeah.
of them being drawn like Dragon Ball. Hold on, someone's knocking.
Yeah.
Oh no, someone's knocking upstairs.
Hold on.
It's so scary. I'm
Yeah, and no, yeah, I just like really enjoyed that.
It was a little awkward. They even felt a little awkward,
Yeah,
and
I mean, it was
I mean,
just more
yeah.
so like Okurun really just was listening to this guy, just talk about it, right? And he was like, "Damn, I kind of feel in that way."
Yep.
And I mean, he didn't really say that, but like you could like tell from his expressions and stuff.
The expressions, yeah. Agreed. Agreed. It was a nice, like I said, there's like its own way of letting us know that there's development,
Yeah,
like
exactly.
nice little development, for themselves. So
Yeah, I mean, and it's good. We gotta see their little relationship grow. Obviously, there's been multiple hints that Okurun is catching feelings. There's even more evidence
of
that
course.
that uh that Momo fell for Okurun, and you know
Mm-hmm.
it's just fun seeing
Get so
how.
flustered when they say his real name.
Yes, that's
She
that's
gets so flustered, like she's so stupid.
it is, but it's like a nice little gag. Hopefully, like,
Yeah, exactly.
but yeah, no, I'm really excited to see how this wraps up because I did not, I have a feeling of where it might end, but I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the episode kind of like the episode preview showed like it's ending in like a different way than I expected. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah.
uh,
I mean, the dude, to me, he's a little bit annoying.
GG.
Yeah.
So
But we'll see. Hopefully he grows on me.
so
But,
I will say the dub actor, like I love his work,
mm-hmm.
but yeah,
Mm-hmm.
he took up that annoying level to and cranked it up. Like
Mm-hmm.
it was
Mm-hmm.
because the sub does not, at least to me, it doesn't sound as annoying.
Mm-hmm.
And
No, I just feel like his whole persona, not just like his speech, like yeah, and like how he kind of is too. I mean, I get I guess I was just never into popular guys, and he just seems like the
I
typical kind of popular guy.
I mean he's kind of different though. Like he he he's the typical build of like a popular guy, but like he's in the complete opposite where he's like just goofy. Like
True,
he
you're right. Yeah, exactly. Which is kind of like, yeah, you're right. Which is kind of why I feel more maybe awkward or more standoffish about it. Yeah. Uh huh.
yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
but he'll grow on you. He's gonna be part of the main
Yeah.
squad.
No, I know he's gonna grow on me because but for now he's just like you're too
Yeah,
much kind of thing, and
yeah,
you just got here.
yeah. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
you just have to see him interact with Okurun and Ira, and then you'll see like
Yeah.
you'll see better side of him. But that'll
Right.
be it for this episode, or like
Yeah.
this this video part. So if you guys like what you hear, what we say, give us a like, a comment, subscribe,
Comments.
share, all that good stuff.
Mhm.
And until the next part, bye.